This kind of planning is a process. And what does that mean? Well, it means certain things that we have to address. You have primary issues, which are, kind of almost that list that we talked about in terms of what are our concerns about future independence. Living arrangements. What does that look like? What does that look like today? What might that look like in the future? What organizations are out there that can help us put together kind of a living arrangement plan or residential options that best suit my loved one? We understand what those are and where they are and how to access them. Another primary issue is medical side. Right? We need to understand where we are medically and developmentally and therapeutically. Are we going on a regular basis? Do we have to go? Are we taking any medications? What does that look like? Education or employment side. Is our loved one's abilities, are they able to work for a period of time? Are they not? Where are they in that on that spectrum in terms of their abilities there? And if they can, how much income can they earn? And as awful as this sounds, should they earn based upon the benefit system that we live in right now? And certainly their social side, as we looked at before, what kind of things do they do socially? Are they able to socialize very well? What groups are we a part of? And then something awful that caregivers and parents don't necessarily want to think about, but do we have to make final arrangements for our loved one before we go, or is somebody else going to be able to do that? And then once we determine kind of, okay, what does our living arrangements look like? What does that look like? Then we need to determine what those lifetime plan costs for our family are. Right? I know in general we said $4 million, but that's different for every family, so we need to determine those. Because once you determine those, then you can identify what the resources are. Right? We can go find them. Whether they're, parents' income or assets or inheritances if they exist, or the child or the individual with the brain injury if they're able to work, or any assets that they have depending on when that brain injury occurred. It's obviously going to make that determination. Government benefits, which ones can we access? How much is that going to be? How long is it going to last? Will it change when I, as a parent, retire and start on Social Security benefits? Is the benefit for my child going to change? And how does it change? And what does that mean? We need to identify where those resources are and when we can access them and how they will change over your lifetime and your loved one's lifetime so that you can make the best decisions possible. Prepare a will. We talked a little bit about that before. Let's just say if you don't have one, let's do it. Mitzi will help you out. Again, two things, right? People, stuff. Just has to be done right. Guardians. I know you guys had a whole guardian conversation earlier today, so I'm not going to rehash that. I just want to chat about two areas of guardianship we want to think about depending on the age of your loved one. One is when you exit the planet as a caregiver, who will be there at that point? That's one part of guardianship. The other part is what are their abilities now? Like, for example, I think we even saw on the video that we saw a few minutes ago, the one individual, he my goodness, he graduated with a master's degree from Purdue and can't balance his checkbook. Right? The financial piece is usually one that kind of goes in terms of understanding level. But maybe other pieces haven't. Maybe they can make other decisions in other areas of their life and make good ones. Right? Obviously, every injury is going to be different in terms of what the impact's going to be. So possibly guardianship might not be completely what they need. You might not be able to be. You might not need to be their complete guardian, but you want to help them in their medical decisions and their financial decisions. And then there are other options that Mitzi will talk about that you could do. Again, depending on where your loved one is and what their needs are, will determine if you need to be their guardian now or if you can use other